Did want to get into this Malik Willis thing, though. And I noticed around social media, and I've even noticed it on the YouTube chat thread here. And I noticed there's two camps. And look, we're a very divided society. And when we believe something, we dig in. And we're only going to find facts and opinions that support our stance. That's how we're going to operate. And I noticed the two camps. And you brought up one of them when you talked about Malik Willis and he put on the laser show yesterday. And so the one camp was the Josh Allen camp. You know, the arm strength, the ability to throw the ball down the field, dropping it in the basket, raw talent, needs to be molded, all that stuff. Then that was like the pro Malik Willis side. The other side was Jamarcus Russell threw the ball really far too. And look what happened to Jamarcus Russell. And we're seeing it here in the YouTube chat thread.
You're going to compare anybody to Marcus Russell? First, don't you have to look at the person, right, and see like what is their commitment level? So that's just like quit throwing it out like stuff like that. My question to you, Neal Ruhl.
Yes.
Being this, the quarterbacks is your thing and this and that. Going in before watching this and seeing Malik Willis, and obviously you are interested in how all the quarterbacks perform because you believe that, you know, that's where the Detroit Lions need to go in the second round. But where was your expectations out of 10 going in, and where were they coming out as far as sold on this guy? When Robert Close, remember what he said is that
I think he drilled it. He drilled it. He reinforced. The arm strength was a thing.
Stamped it for you that he's the best quarterback out there. Stamped it for you that he's the guy we should take. Or stamped it for you that what did he stamp for you?
Those are all moving targets, man. Just in that there's different answers, I think, to all those questions. Like, is he the best quarterback? I don't know that he's the best quarterback right now. Again, but knowing my style and what I'm about, like Thibodeau, like the Thibodeau v. Hutchinson. I mean, because I think he has the highest ceiling of any quarterback in the draft, and that's how I roll.
Not just you, people on other stations.
Sure,
you know, you look at Mina Kimes. ESPN. You know, she even said, what'd she say? His ceiling is outer space.
Yeah, well, hey, we have it for you. Mina Kimes yesterday on ESPN had an interesting comparison.
It's not just you. I'm getting the point that you're not on an island all your own.
No, absolutely. We got that sound, Sawyer? Yeah, all right, let's run that.
I think he is the most interesting player in the draft. And when I watch him, I still have questions. Like, I don't know if he can cut down on the sack rate and the turnovers or run a pro-style offense, frankly. But I do know this. Watching his tape, there are more moments where I say words I can't say on cable television than any other quarterback, maybe even player in this class. I mean, his traits are unreal. The rushing ability, I just said to you guys before we started, like instantly I would put him in the top 3 in the NFL with his running style. The arm talents, the off-platform throws, the deep ball. There are going to be teams that look at him and have visions, maybe wrong visions, of Josh Allen and Justin Herbert. Todd, you talked about his ceiling. I think his ceiling is outer space, and someone is going to want to board that rocket ship, even if it goes horribly wrong.
That was Mina Kimes yesterday.
I didn't know you guys are good friends.
Yeah. I think we are. We are. And look, guys, I see you on here right now in the YouTube chat thread. Same old Lions would draft Malik Willis. Bro, they're not taking Malik Willis. Stop with the Malik Willis stuff. God, I'm telling, here's the angle I'm going with this. And I'm not saying the Lions are going to take him at 2. I'm saying the way you guys just dismiss it and say, no quarterbacks, this is a horrible quarterback draft. You're seeing the beginning of it, guys, where we saw this with Trey Lance. Dude, Trey Lance was a top 5 pick, man. Same story. Same thing.
San Fran
gave away a ton of capital.
Right? So somebody can make a move to move up to 2. And here's the thing. Where do you compare, right, Trey Lance coming out to Malik Willis coming out, right? Do that comparable there. You saw a year of Trey Lance, you know, spot playing behind Jimmy G or whatever like this. Now, I don't know. Like, I'd be using those comparables too to see where they're at, to see what it is. To your point, Neal, it was always dismissive. There's no quarterbacks, but there is quarterbacks. It doesn't have the 4 or 5.
You want to know what
top.
the deal is with that, D-Mac? And here's what it is. And I thought about this last night too. Here's what the deal
On the
is
bus ride.
with this
In your
quarterback.
Instagram.
Yeah, when I wasn't sleeping on the bus. Here's what the deal is with this quarterback draft class. It's because it's not Alabama and it's not USC. And it's not the blue bloods that you're used to. It's because it's Kenny Pickett out of Pitt, because it's Malik Willis out of Liberty, which you guys don't know where Liberty is. That's what it is. You guys haven't been beaten over the head with them. You guys haven't watched them every single Saturday. That's what you have to look a little for this one. That's why it wasn't handed to you. So that's the deal with this quarterback. It's not that there's not quarterbacks. It's that there's quarterbacks that you don't know and that you're not comfortable with, that you can't reaffirm. That's what it is. It's not that there's not quarterbacks. Malik Willis can play, guys, and he's got the ceiling, and that's what this stuff is all about. Parlay that with the financials, parlay that with the discount to market. That's why you will see these quarterbacks come flying off the draft board. And that's why I'm not saying the Lions are going to take them at 2, but I'm not saying they're not. And I'm not saying that the Lions have to take them at 2. But all of a sudden, your number 2 pick, especially with Jacksonville at number 1, who has their quarterback, just got a lot more valuable with every laser that Malik Willis throws.
Really wants them, you would think that they'd want to move up to number 2. Right? That they could move up to number 2 if Detroit didn't want him. It just puts so many more things in play. And then again, it goes down to, do you trust? So here's the conversation, because we had it before. They took Malik Willis at 2. You trust the process in Holmes, but you understand it. If they took a Kyle Hamilton at 2,
I don't like it.
You trust the process, but
Right.
you don't like
But
it.
I don't
you
like
don't
it.
understand. You need explanation, right?
Yeah.
So I think we've moved a little bit here. And to me, I think it's more, too, is specifically for this team, what do they need? So if you have a guy whose upside is outer space, the fact that people that I respect and would say are part of the Who's tell me that there's enough tape on this person, that he does a lot of things. What did I just lean over and say to you when they're showing the highlight reel running, when he's running out? I go,
he looks like
sure
a
he's not a
running
running back? Dude,
That intrigues me too.
Right? So what I'm saying is that, and if we're seeing it, other people are seeing it. But you bring up a great point, Neal. The fact that you have to work for it a little bit this year.
It wasn't handed to you.
Right?
And
What was
that's the
handed
thing.
to you? Down the road.
Yeah.
Right? Down the road. All the
Wait till
top-
next year.
Right?
Bryce Young, all your name brand guys are coming next year. And that's where it is. Just because they went to school at Liberty and because they went to school at Pitt doesn't mean they can't play. In North Carolina, et cetera. It wasn't your blue bloods. I think that hurts the perception. But now the perception doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter, because now it's like it's everything else. Go out and prove it. Go out and prove it. It's just like, all these guys, we've covered the combines, the different drills, and talked to Scott yesterday, and it's all about what are they looking for. It's to confirm to their plan. So hopefully, all I care about is that whatever the Brad Holmes makes the choice. We got these guys, this position, and he explains this is why we went here because of this, and a lot of things from what we heard from Scott is there'll be character guys, because that's the one thing that he said about everybody drafted last year was a character guy, as far as their talent to go with it. So I think that's part of the foundation culture they're building.
And the Bro West says on our YouTube chat thread, you really think they're about to draft a quarterback? They will at some point. I think with one of these. Now that I will say, with one of these 3 picks, I'm talking 3 of the first 34, yes, I believe they will. And here's the deal, guys. Here's when D-Mac brings up the Kyle Hamilton thing. For me, the top paid safety in the league is what Jamal Adams for Seattle. I think he's at like $17 million a year. You draft Kyle Hamilton second, what's he checking in? About $9 million a year right there? You know what I'm saying? And he's a rookie. You don't know. So you're going to pay him more than half of what the best safety in the game?
Going up, and then the franchise tag of safeties only goes up, and you only push the higher you throw that chart off balance.
Yeah,
right?
And that's my thing with the quarterback, guys. What's the top quarterback going to make? I will die on this hill with you, and I'll keep going over it, show after show after show. On the draft day, when we're down at the Brass Rail doing our draft show, I'll be going over it minute after minute after minute. The Kyle Hamilton thing, if you're going to pay him $9 million a year when the best safety in the game makes 17, how does that make sense when Aaron Rodgers is going to make $50 million next year and you can take a spin on a quarterback for, depending on when you get him, Lamar Jackson's going to make $2 million this year. This is how this works, guys. It's not fantasy football. They don't all have the same value. It's not. You don't just plug and play. That's the way this works, guys. It does.